I just pulled the most idiot move ever. I didn't tighten my lug nuts before I drove down the road. Oh!
Getting some new teeth screwed into some freshly placed dental implants.
Yep, so I placed 4 dental implants on the bottom today. We took out all of their teeth. Got me my first Texas Speed in performance. 427. SXS Blog, check her out. Well, you see, we got to the track here, and the car's running on about 15 PSI for oil pressure, which is no good. Now, keep in mind, my new motor, my Texas Speed 427, will be here on Monday. I was going to take the car apart today, and Garrett's like, no, we're going on the track tonight, run your car on the new tires, and I need to get the passes in to get my NHRA license. So I got the car here, and now the oil pressure's low. So the car was leaking oil throughout race week, but when I got it back, I was driving it around the city and drove it home, and everything was fine. But it's been sitting the past couple weeks. So I put new plugs in it today, and now I'm noticing the low oil pressure. So I'm gonna start it back up. I just put a cord in it, and we'll see what it's running at. If it's running low still after putting this cord in, not gonna run the car tonight. Taking it as a sign not to run the car, personally. I mean, my new motor's coming out. Hate to blow up Garrett's motor literally 2 days before my new one gets here. I just pulled the most idiot move ever. I didn't tighten my lug nuts before I drove down the road. Oh! Well, here's the damage. Fell right on the brake rotor. Not too bad. I think we might have gotten out lucky. Oh, what an idiot move. Bet you I'll never do that again. Looks like the gas tank's fine. Wow, I might have really gotten lucky there, guys. Looks like this rim's a little messed up, but right across the street from the shop, I'm gonna take some lug nuts off a different wheel and tire and get it back on the car and get her put away for the night. All right, guys, I'm here with Justin from Midwest Dental Arts. Tell us a little about what we're doing here.
Yeah, we're doing a little teeth in a day procedure. So this patient is getting some new teeth screwed into some freshly placed dental implants.
Yep, so I placed 4 dental implants on the bottom today. We took out all of their teeth. And what Justin is doing is he's screwing in a final teeth, or these are actually be her temporaries, then she'll get her final in a couple months. So we're doing this all in the same day. That way the patient leaves with their new smile and their teeth looking absolutely gorgeous. They're going to be super pumped.
See how it looks?
Yep.
I mean, there's suction and everything.
Yeah, you look good. Try this electric torque wrench out, man. I think you're going to like it.
I will. I just want to feel this part.
It's my fancy new electric torque wrench that I got. I'm trying to show Justin that this is the way of the future. Well, it's another beautiful day out here in sunny Florida, and I've got Dr. Pepper behind me. And we are ripping out the motor, the trans, and all the electrical. I'm completely starting fresh. I have my new motor coming in tomorrow. I'm rebuilding the trans, and we're just doing a complete once through on this thing. I want to make sure it's really set up for the Christmas tree race Garrett's going to be having, and for Sick Week in February, which I am registered for. I want to get this car absolutely dialed for my class so that I can be... Hey, day, dude. I'm trying to film over here. Oh, never boring around here. Okay, well, let's check it out. I want to show you what an absolute mess this car is after race week. The drive shaft and cross member for the trans are in here because I've already done all that. And look at this wiring. This is my stuff that's straight to the battery, which is a little scary, but this is the bird's nest that I'm constantly worried is gonna catch on fire. I'm already gonna show you a few things I found completely wrong with my wiring setup, but hey, it's worked so far. We've been able to make some solid passes, but now it's time to get the car absolutely perfect. Ugh. This is what I've been working with for the past 3 or 4 months, and how terrible does that look? Here's, I don't even want to show you guys this. I'm truly embarrassed, but here's the relays for my race fuel setup. And it's done melted itself. And this one's starting to melt as well. But Ben during race week was like, dude, I don't know if this is right, but some of these wires down here are really hot against my leg. And I was thinking to myself, I know they're hot, but the car's running, it's staying cool, everything's working, let's just keep trucking. We did have a few wiring issues on race week, and I'll show you what they were. Ben had kicked this from the fuse box, or not really kicked it, but getting in and out of the car, it came loose. So I lost all of my switches and therefore all of my power to everything. So I was driving down the road, the car completely shut off. Not only that, but these relays are completely underpowered for what's going on. I only have one relay set up for each race pump, and they should have 2 30-amp relays, and I've been running one, so that's probably why they've melted. I'll show you what the race setup looks like underneath the hood. Here's my grounds, and then here is my positive terminal. Absolute mess going on. I'm not proud of it. Not proud of it at all, but like I said, it's been working, and now it's time to just tear it all out and start over, because I have the time. We have 2 months. The car's coming apart every which way for the new motor and get the trans rebuilt. So let's just do this too. Get it done right. This is the current race fuel setup, and I have 2 MagnaFuel 750s. So I've got this small 5-gallon tank for my race fuel right here. They come out here, go into the pumps. I know I need fuel filters here, but I've been running it without them. And then these come together here to a -10, which goes over to this quick release, and then I hook up to the motor. So these are the quick releases that go to the street setup, and then these are the ones that go for the race setup. So that's my race fuel setup. And each one of those pumps should have 2 30-amp relays, and I've been running one, and so that's definitely why those relays have melted. Okay. Oh my god, it's like I just popped a big sit. It's so satisfying. Okay, let's look at these relays up close a little bit. This one was definitely for a fuel plumpy. You can tell because it's melted. Race fuel plump. Race fuel plumpy. This one, I think this was for probably the street pump. And then this one I know is for the fan. This is a big boy. This is a 50-amp. So I'm going to keep this relay for the front fan, even though I'm going to be replacing all of them with solid state, just as a reference for when I rewire this thing with Zach. Now that I have all the wiring out of the car, I'm going to show you my plan to rewire things. So I got all the craziness for the most part out of there. All this stuff that's still here has to stay, but this is my Terminator. I am running a Holley Terminator X, and this is my 12-volt out power switch. And my plan is to take the dash off and behind here and mount everything on the roll bar up there and get everything cleaned up inside the dash. And then I'm gonna have a quick release panel right here. You can see I already switched that one. That one is Cabron Fibre. I'm gonna do the Cabron right here and then make it accessible so that when I pull this down, I can work on all my switches if need be. But the idea is doing it right this time so that I don't have to work on it when needed. Well, getting the trans pulled apart, and quite a bit of metal here on this filter.
little much.
A little more than we're looking for. I didn't get any footage of the pulling the trans, but here it is, sitting in a bunch of pieces. It is a stage 4 from FTI, and James and I took it apart yesterday. We're going to change it from an 8-pack to a 10 and do a better oil pump on it. Also, the input shaft has rings, and so we're going to go ringless, which makes it stronger, because anytime you have these grooves on this input shaft, it can weaken it, and so we are going to do ringless. Switch out the pump, keep all the gearing the same, and do a 10-pack in the drum, and that'll be it for upgrades on the trans. Let's go look at the motor. So sad. All sitting out of the car. Okay, so here is the motor that I've actually been borrowing from Garrett, and this is a Texas Speed block. It's a Gen 4 6-liter, and I'm gonna pretty much be taking all the parts off of this and putting it onto my motor that's coming tomorrow, which I'm pretty pumped about. I do want to do something different for this alternator bracket since it is so ugly and up there. I'd love to get an electric water pump, but right now I'm just gonna leave the water pump that's on it and put it on the new motor, and then just keep the alternator where it's at. I think I bent one of the header flanges when we were on race week, because we have quite a bit of an exhaust leak right here, as you can see. So I need to put some shims through here, tighten this up, and see how it looks after I tighten everything up. Obviously, the Cleetus valve covers, Motion Raceworks coil relocator kit, and I got some goodies from DEI, which help a lot of the heat control on the turbo exhaust side. They're sending a bunch of stuff to rewire the car as well to keep all of the wires protected from any kind of heat. And that's about it. Oh, I also sent off my injectors today. I pulled them off the intake after I pulled it out of the car, and I can literally blow air through several of them. So that's probably why when I tried to run the car the other night, I showed up to the track and I only had about 15 pounds of oil pressure. Checked the oil, and the oil had a ton of fuel in it. So after getting the car apart, I took the injectors out, and sure enough, some of them are completely stuck open. So I sent them over to a fuel injector clinic on the east side of Florida today to get once through and get them dialed in before everything goes back into the car. I'm pretty much gonna be running the same setup I have on the previous motors on the new motor, and upgrading the trans a little bit, redoing all the wiring, and that's gonna be pretty much a wrap for getting the car back together. Like I said, I have a deadline. It's the weekend before Christmas. We're gonna be doing the Christmas tree race over at Bradenton Motorsports Park. Garrett's gonna be putting that on. We have to dress the car up with some lights and stuff. So there's gonna be some great content to come over the next couple weeks as I get the car back together. Got something special for the Hellcat. This thing is beefy. Oh my God, this thing's so heavy. Triple disc, monster clutch for the Hellcat. All right, so on the previous videos, if you guys saw, the clutch was absolutely smoked in the Hellcat. So I went all out and got a really, really sick clutch from Monster Clutches. So Shop Hellcat's gonna get this thing put in. I got a list of other stuff we're doing. The front caliper on the passenger side is frozen on the inside. Look at this picture. So we got more calipers and rotors on the way off of another Hellcat. We thought about doing Scat Pack calipers and rotors, but because they're a lot cheaper. However, since I went suicide on the rear brakes and cut them completely for the hydraulic handbrake, I am gonna be sticking with the Hellcat stuff since it's 6-piston. The Scat Pack Brembo brakes are only 4-piston. We're also gonna be replacing the water pump because that went out right before my second run on drift night. And then, we also have to fix the radio. So a bunch of little stuff on the Hellcat, which will be done in the next couple weeks because those boys are headed off to SEMA. And if you've ever been to SEMA, it's super cool. It's a great way to network and find out the latest and greatest products. So they're gonna be gone. And then I'm gonna take the car down there. They'll probably need another week with it. So it'll probably be about 2 to 3 weeks before I see the Hellcat again. But I've barely gotten any drive time in that thing, and I can't wait to just kind of rip it around the streets and have fun with it. And you know, not drive my 12 valve everywhere, because literally my truck goes like 70 to 75 miles an hour max on the freeway, which here in Florida, if you're not doing that, you're moving pretty slow. So excited to get this thing going again. It should be making over 800 wheel horsepower. That would be sweet as a street car, daily street car with cold AC and a radio. Not a bad way to drive around. I wonder what this could be. Maybe a new motor? You know what I got here? Got me my first Texas Speed and Performance. 427. LSX block, check her out. Oh, dude, they put an intake on it. This thing has got some miles on it. You think this intercooler will fit in there?
I think they might be the same bolt pattern. We'll have to double check.
Well, I'm definitely gonna put some of the motion stuff on here, but wow, dude. This thing's gonna be for long power.
Mm-hmm.
Long power. Oh my God.
Big upgrade from a junkyard motor.
Well, I wouldn't call this a junkyard
Well,
motor.
not this one. The one before it.
The one
This
before.
This is kind of a stand-in for your crate motor over there.
I've got some learning to do. This is gonna be a fun project. I can't wait to get this motor in. Oh, you know what? Is a harmonic balancer sticking out a lot further than on that other block? Or if my crazy alternator bracket will offset it enough.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
We'll have to give that a look.
You can always switch them out, the harmonic balancers, but
Mhm.
wow. I'm so excited. Now there's a rumor that Garrett's gonna be borrowing this motor in one of his cars that I'm sure you'll see in the video to
Well,
come.
you just put this back on and bury it in the ground.
He told me, you better hide that new motor you got coming. So,
You're gonna have to, like,
boy.
Drill all the bolts back in the lid and strip them so they can't come back out.
You know a good hiding spot around here?
Behind the Marlin, I guess.
Oh yeah, behind the Marlin. Oh yeah, this is a Marlin bar, our mom caught actually. She's a big fisher. If you don't know, check out her Instagram, Lauren Mitchell. Loves to fish. She's quite good at it too, and she always seems to get the biggest fish on the boat every time we go, and that's her Marlin. Just laying it proudly in the shop. Well,
Thing is
cool.
huge.
Unfortunately, I don't get to play with this thing until next week. I'm headed out of town for the weekend, but I'm so pumped to get this thing back together.
It's gonna be sick.
All reliable is what I'm going for. If you guys like this content, subscribe, like, leave me a comment. It really helps me out. I love making these videos for you guys. It's been really fun for me to document the process, and we'll see you next time.